Hey there, everybody. Eli Gain here inside Memorial Stadium in Bloomington, the site where the second-ranked Hoosiers go on to take down UCLA 56-6 to improve to 8-0 on the year. A game where the tone was set early on by the defense. Aiden Fisher on just the second play from scrimmage came away with a pick six, and Indiana did not look back from there. I mentioned that 56-6 margin. That's the second time that Indiana has played a Big Ten opponent and beaten them by at least 50 points. They did so against Illinois earlier this season. When you look at the offense on this day, Fernando Mendoza not as brilliant through the air in this one as he was, let's say, last week against Michigan State, but they really wanted to harp on running the football in this game. 262 yards to be exact. Roman Hemby leading the way with 81 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kalon Black finished with 70 on the ground. And then when you look through the air, not as many opportunities throughout the air as I mentioned. E.J. Williams Jr., it was his day. 5 catches for 109 yards and 2 touchdowns. He caught 2 of Fernando Mendoza's 3. Mendoza also added a touchdown on the ground. Shifting back over to the defense, imposing its will. Just relentless in this game. 3 turnovers forced. They had 3 sacks and only holding UCLA to 201 total yards. So the Hoosiers once again flexing their muscle, taking down UCLA 56-6. And again, 8-0 on the year for the second-ranked Hoosiers.
Great team win. Proud of the coaches, proud of the team. A lot of guys contributed, did a lot of good things, created turnovers, third down, stopped them on defense, converted on offense. And, it was on a big platform against a team that was hot. And we wanted to be physical and dominate the line of scrimmage. I thought we did early in the game, and Fisher's play early in the game was a huge play. So with that, I'll open it up to questions.
Yeah, Kurt, you talked about the line of scrimmage, in particular with the defense, your interior guys. You talked even before the season about having to replace all the production and experience you guys had there. That was maybe one of your question marks. You've obviously stepped up the growth, success, development. What do you kind of attribute that to with those guys like Tyreek and Mario of that group?
Well, I think a big part of, running a football program is development. And you do that through your strength and conditioning program and the way you coach, the way you practice, and schematically. And I think Pat Kuntz does a great job with those inside guys. I think he's a terrific defensive line coach. He focuses on the inside guys and Buddha focuses on the outside guys, but we run so many different packages. Sometimes the inside guys are outside guys and the outside guys are inside guys. So they meet together and they do a lot of different things together. And it's a blue-collar group that's gotten better every week.
Kurt, kind of a double-barrel question. First of all, how is Aiden Fisher? And kind of secondly, Isaiah Jones steps into, I would imagine, more, not just more snaps, but more responsibility when Fisher's not on the field. Just how did you see him kind of grow into that today?
Yeah, well, Isaiah Jones has really taken a big step this year. And we've talked about that quite a bit in the past and making a lot of plays. Fisher made a huge play early in the game. And, we took him out kind of precautionary, but we'll do the x-rays, the MRIs, and see what those say.
Coach, you guys ran for, I think, 260-something yards. Felt like as you got in the second, third quarter, really imposed your will on them. Backs really ran hard, broke some tackles. I think he had 150 yards in those 2 quarters. Just your thoughts on the O-line and the job of the running backs today. Yeah,
our backs run hard all the time. They really do, Hemby and Black. And, when a team, when you start to see them wave the white flag, so to speak, and break their will, it takes a while. It usually happens sometimes in the third quarter, and that may have been what happened here. And then Martin came in, made some good runs. It's great credit to the offensive line and tight ends also. So, it's good to see those rushing totals back up again.
Coach, on both sides of the ball, you guys were really good on the money downs on 3rd and 4th down. What do you attribute to it on offense and then on the flip side on defense?
Well, preparation. It's good preparation and execution. But, to me it's all the same. It starts up front. You got to win the line of scrimmage. You got to put heat on the quarterback on defense. You got to protect the quarterback on offense. You got to separate. throw and catch on offense and tight coverage on defense. And if the quarterback doesn't have as much time to throw, he's not as effective, and you got to hit him. So I think Bryant Haynes is difficult to prepare against. Does a lot of different stuff. I thought UCLA's guy was difficult to prepare against. And I don't think we separated like extremely well against press coverage today. Now we had some extended plays in the pass game. But the credit all goes to the assistants and the players. Yeah.
Yeah, Coach, your thoughts on how dominant your defense has been all season. I think it's 6 offensive touchdowns allowed in 8 games. Just your thoughts on how well they've played and how many different guys have made impact plays.
Yeah. How many touchdowns on the year?
I believe it's 6 offensive allowed.
Yeah, and we've played 8 games. Not bad. Yeah. That's pretty good. No, Bryant does a great job. The kids respond. They have a lot of pride. We got some DBs back there that have really good ball skills too, like the safeties. As much as I like to get on them about being late to get lined up and stuff like that, they got really good ball skills. They've made a lot of really nice interceptions. Our linebackers do too. And we do a good job stopping the run. Philosophically, that's where it all begins. Stopping the run, TFLs, and pressuring the quarterback. So, as I look at who we've played, you look at Oregon, they're a premier offense, right? And we had a dominant second half in that game, and we didn't really start very well against Michigan State, right, after that dominant performance. We probably feeling pretty good about ourselves. I was worried about that with the offense today a little bit. But, got to keep it going. Got to keep them healthy and keep it going.
Jake, on your left and Seth.
Yeah, Kurt, no team in college football has won a conference game by more than 50 points except you guys, and now you've done it twice. As you mentioned, UCLA was playing pretty good ball coming into this game. What about you guys has allowed you to be so methodical in, to use your phrase, breaking the will of the opposition in some of these games?
I think one of the keys is we just have everybody on the same page. Like, I know what I want. I got a lot of assistants. We've been together a long time, and we all kind of like speak the same lingo. And we got, good players with high character. They're good leaders, and some of them have been with us a pretty long time, and they listen to the message. And, we try to play every play like it's nothing game on the line, regardless of the competitive circumstances. And so, I don't know. That's the best answer I can give you.
Kurt, you mentioned your assistants a few times. What would you say are some of Mike Shanahan's biggest strengths as a play caller that set up the offense for success?
I think Mike does a really nice job of preparing and collaborating, so to speak, everybody's opinions. And he's got a really good connection going during the game with Chandler Whitmer and Bob Bostad because, with technology the way it is and the ability to look at iPad, things are changing every series. So they're making good adjustments during the game, and Mike's got a great work ethic. He's a smart guy, got great disposition, and he was dialing them up today when they worked. No, I told him every time I've questioned a call the last 3 weeks, it's been pretty consistent because sometimes I can be pretty rough on the phones. Every time I question a call the last 3 weeks, it's gone for a big play.
On EJ, he had, I think, 5, 109, and 2. Just one, what drove that? And 2, how much does it help y'all when he is playing at that level?
Yeah, it's great to get big plays from EJ. He's got a lot of talent. I've always been very high on EJ. He's just got to make sure, when he's running in the end zone for a touchdown that he doesn't taunt the defender, because he got a mulligan on that one from the official. But you play in a game where it's game on the line, that's spot foul. And now we got the ball on about the 30-yard line and don't get the points.
Zach in front, and we'll wrap it, Joe.
Coach, the TFLs, the sacks are one thing for Isaiah Jones. What has he shown you, though, this season that's given you the trust to give him the green dot in a situation like that with Aiden going down?
Well, everything's earned, not given, and he's earned everything he's got. And he's a real smart player, just like Fisher is. And Fisher was just a year ahead of him in his development because when Isaiah came here as a freshman, he was injured. And, he's really stepped up and taken a huge step this year, and he's still a young guy. And you know, he knows the ins and outs of the defense just like Aiden does.
Coach, Fernando was making some plays, extending the ball, improvising a bit like the touchdown to each of the second one, and then, using his legs to get downfield. What were your thoughts of his performance?
Yeah, I mean, because we weren't doing a great job of separating on the perimeter, but fortunately the protection was great, and they had lost contain, and, he's a mobile guy. He can extend plays and make plays on the move, and made a couple really nice throws and runs, and so, he's a good player. I think we all know that, and a big part of the reason we are where we are.
Sort of, what do you feel was the key to that, and why were you this successful in that area?
I really just feel like it was just being confident in the run game, trusting it, and being really disciplined in our reads and how things played out. We knew that we were going to have some areas to work in the run game, and we were able to exploit those today.
I think you guys are like the only team with 50-point wins in conference play. Just your thoughts on having two really dominant wins in the Big Ten this year?
I really just think it stems from everybody doing their job. I feel like offense, defense, and special teams stepped up to the plate, and I feel like that's why we're having a lot of success. You look at our offense, we're doing really good when we got the ball, and the defense gets us the ball. So when you have that formula, you're able to score a lot of points.
Coach Ignetti talks about breaking teams' will. Is there any point in this game where you knew that they were broken down?
Oh, yeah, that's kind of our mentality. We take the game, and we want to impose our will on the defense, and, I feel like we were able to do that today. Just leaning on them, when you got a great offensive line like I have up front, and, they're moving people off the ball and doing those things like that. When the third and fourth quarter hit, we're able to kind of, have our way a little bit and do the things that we want to do.
What keeps this team so focused? You talk about everybody on the same page, everybody focused, but everybody strives for that. Like, that's every team's goal. What is different about this team that allows that just sort of hyper focus on the task at hand?
I feel like it starts with the head man above. Coach Sig, he does a really good job preaching the message to make sure that we're all on the same accord with everything. And I feel like it goes down to the coaches, it comes to the players, and we all have one goal, and it's to go out there and win every Saturday or, wherever we play. So I feel like that's kind of the formula that we have, and then we just have a lot of veteran leaders and guys that kind of can command the locker room and make sure that we're all on the same page to achieve the goal that we want.
Did this feel a little bit like an old school game where you could rely on the running more than you have some of the other games?
Yeah, I feel like we have a great balance offensively. I feel like we're able to run the ball when we want to, pass the ball when we want to, and I feel like today was one of those days where the run kind of helped us get a lot of success, and we were able to throw the ball when we wanted to and when we needed to. But it feels good to kind of have the offense rely on us for a little bit of time and for us to ring the bell and kind of answer home when we were needed.
Both of your scores were the Stephen Daly package. Why is he the guy that you guys like at fullback?
I feel like it's just the personnel, that how they want to do things. But you look at a guy like Stephen Daly, he comes in, he's probably the strongest player on the team. He's one of those guys that doesn't say too much, but he does his job and he works really hard. So, I have the utmost confidence when I'm behind him that I can run and he'll open up a hole, give me somewhere to go. And, for him, it's another thing on his resume that he can kind of do. So it kind of helps everybody out. And, anything that gets us points is something that we'll continue to do.
What do you think your offensive line has been so impactful pretty consistently throughout the whole year?
I really just think that it's a testament to the offensive coaches that we have. Coach Bostad does a really good job making sure that they're in line and know what's going on. And I feel like they just are guys that are gritty. They go out there every day and they find ways to get better. They find ways to push each other. And you see our leaders like Pat Coogan and Carter Smith, and I can name the whole offensive line. But, you see guys like that, the leaders that kind of make sure that we're all ready to go, and they challenge each other, and they always come through.
On EJ, I think you had 5 for 109 and 2. Just how much does it help you all when he's playing at that level?
Oh, yeah. EJ is one of those guys that he can make every play that we ask of him, and I think the only thing that kind of hindered him was injuries in his past and things like that. But you see that guy, he goes out there every day, he gives full effort, he plays really hard. And as a running back, when you have receivers that go out there and make catches like he made today, it opens up the box for the run game. So if we can continue to balance on one another and help each other out, we'll be able to have success with him, myself, and the rest of the running back room, and everybody on the offense.
What does it do for you as an offense when the defense is playing as well as it did, especially when they scored 7 points before you even touched the ball?
It does a tremendous job for us, just being able to go out there and have a little bit more confidence. When you take the field and you're already up a score, you're confident, you're ready to go. And I think that they give us a lot of opportunities as well, getting off the field on third down, giving us short fields so that we can operate and be in scoring distance really quick. I think that's something that they do a really good job of. And, we want to work off of them and make sure that we return the favor.
Two more from Roman. How do you process the fact that you're not only winning every week, you're winning by the margin score? I mean, nobody can predict, looking at the schedule, you're going to win by 40, you're going to win by 50 every week, but you guys are doing it.
Oh, yeah. We kind of look at the schedule and we take it 1 week at a time. We're not really worried about the ending score. We just want to make sure that we're victorious. I'll say for myself, it does feel good to go out there and be able to, impose your will on defenses and put up a lot of points because we play offense. We want to score touchdowns. We want to score points. But we'll take a win however we can get it. And, it only gets harder for him from here on out, so we have to get back to the drawing board and figure out ways to continue to put up points.
What have you seen just around campus, around town? Just the response of everybody as you guys have been winning, and then you get in the top 10, then you get in the top 5, then you get in the top 2. Just what's the response been like? What's the atmosphere like?
Oh, it was pretty much everything that they said it would be when I transferred in. They gave me the picture before the picture happened. Basically saying, hey, look, we have the opportunity to do this. We can be big here. We can do this. And, everything's coming to fruition that they said to me. So, around campus, you see a lot of people that have belief and, they're trusting in us and they're giving us confidence as well. And I feel like it's really cool to see that the stadium is filled every week. The players, feed off of that. That's our 12th man. So, I'm excited. This is something that I'm not really used to, but I'm definitely loving it. And just being able to be a part of some type of family like this is awesome.
Fernando, you have 3 wide receivers who are capable of having a big game. Today was EJ's day. What made him be that guy today?
Yeah, no doubt. UCLA defensive coordinator was dialing up on us, showed a lot of unscouted looks that we weren't able to see, and they did a great job preparing for our pass game. However, that's really opened up our run game, and especially with the pass game, they were doubling Elijah and Coop, so that means that there's a one-on-one on EJ, and when there's a one-on-one on EJ, that's great. Or one-on-one on any of our guys, the smile goes on my face.
Fernando, there's an aggressive nature to this offense early in the game in particular. Has the focus been on fast starts? And did you guys learn a little from last week's game that went into this one?
Yeah, a big thing is we want to capitalize on every possession, especially in all of our games, because we treat every single game as a big game. Michigan State, we had 3 drives in the first half, and I think we did a great job capitalizing on them there. Today, a little bit of a slower start. Unfortunately, we had the turnover, which, it sucks. It happens. But, I think we bounced back from that phenomenally, and we were able to put some points on the board early in the game.
You mentioned UCLA was on a heater coming into this game.
Yes, sir.
You guys are now the only team in college football to win a conference game by 50 plus. You've done it twice now. What about you guys allowed you to be so methodical, even against good teams, winning by 50 plus?
Yeah, no doubt. It's definitely an incredible achievement. However, whether we win by 1 or win by 50, it's still a W, so we take every W the same. But we have such great coaches, great players, and just a great support staff around us. And what makes it even better is everyone's such a good person. Everyone's such a good person. Everyone gets along so well together. And I think that makes everyone want to fight harder for each other, and which really bands us closer together. And I think that's why we're able to string together these impressive performances.
Fernando, about the noise and the outside clutter, and you're in the national spotlight personally, more so than you've ever been. How are you dealing with it personally?
Personally, I delete all my social media. The only social media that's on my phone right now is LinkedIn and YouTube to watch videos. I have Alberto handle my Instagram, and my some marketing people handle my Instagram. But other than that, I'm not on any social media, especially because I want to keep everything inside the building. Whether, today, although it was a great win, I still started the game off a little sloppy, wasn't great on my technique. So there's a lot of things that I don't want to go to the outside noise and kind of get that's so great, and to kind of forget about those issues that I need to build on, and vice versa. So I'm just really trying to keep it in the building. We have such great coaches, so I'm just really trying to keep my focus on listening to their advice and their feedback. That's what it's right now.
Videos you watch?
I mean, it really depends. I usually watch like NFL highlights or anything. I sometimes watch Kurt Warner breakdown. Sometimes I watch a guy named MMG. So I just watch a couple of people.
Fernando, you guys had this game in the first half. What continued that motivation in the second?
Yeah, coach came into the locker room and always says, hey, it's 0-0, no matter what the score is. UCLA is a very capable team. They beat Penn State. They beat ton of other great Big Ten opponents, and teams are always looking for, especially right when they start the second half, they're looking, hey, do we have that spark? Are we going to be able to come back in this game? And so right from the jump, we knew that we needed to have an impressive drive to start and score in order to diffuse their flame and to really impose our will.
How impressive has this team been on both sides of the ball?
Oh, been phenomenal. I think the trenches win the game, and those are the unsung heroes. We have a fantastic D-line, if not one of the best in the nation, a fantastic O-line, if not the best in the nation. And I think that just helps everything around us. Without them, there's no way we would be 8-0. So, I mean, just huge props to those guys.
What is it about Coach Shanahan's game plan and play calling that sets you guys up for success?
Yeah, I think that it's really the multifaceted approach that we can take, whether it's passing, whether it's running, whether it's moving the pocket, whether it's staying in the pocket. Coach Shanahan, we have such great players around us. We could really utilize whatever the defense is giving us. So UCLA, we knew we wanted to run the ball this game, and so I think we did a great job with that, of attacking the run. And for example, Michigan State, we wanted to throw the ball a little bit more, and I think we did a great job with that game. So I think it's really Coach Shanahan's ability and Coach Signetti and Coach Whitmer's ability to watch the game tape and really put a good, concise plan together and a great plan that we're able to execute.
How are you going to reset the next game?
Yeah, there's always a 24-hour rule that we'll think about this game 24 hours. We'll watch the film tomorrow with Monday with coaches, and we'll take the feedback and what we got to improve on. But after that, Maryland is a good team, and we got to go on the road there. And on the road, every game we played on the road this season has been a close one. So we really want to keep it, our brand of football to Maryland.
Fernando.
Indiana will now take its perfect record on the road next Saturday, taking on Maryland at 3:30. Continue to follow us right here on WTHR Plus, as well as over the air on Channel 13. I'll have you covered for everything Indiana heading forward this season. In Bloomington, I'm Eli Gain. Have a great day.